What if the next thing you toss isn't trash, it's your life? Boxed up and ready for the grave. Are you old, bones creaking, staring at a house full of junk, your junk, knowing you've got one last job before the dirt hits your coffin? Clean it out, or let it rot with you. Or are you the one stuck, choking on tears, clawing through your dead mom's closet, wondering if that stained apron is her soul, or just garbage, and if you ditch it, are you killing her all over again? What happens when you don't declutter before death knocks, when your kids inherit a hoard instead of a memory? Or when you're too scared to trash grandpa's junk and end up living in his tomb? This isn't about sprucing up for guests or staging a sale. It's about gutting your existence down to the studs before the worms do it for you. And if you don't face the 5 twisted truths I'm about to drop, you'll either die drowning in your own crap or leave a legacy that's just a landfill with your name on it. In America, we pilot high attics stuffed with ghosts, basements screaming with someday lies. For the gray-haired, the clock's a guillotine every sweater. Every rusted wrench is a choice. Ditch it now or curse your kin with it later. They're not tidying, they're clawing for control, racing to strip their lives bare before the lights go out. For the rest of us, it's a nightmare lottery. Keep dad's old boots and suffocate. Toss them and bleed guilt for years. Miss this, and you're screwed. Your final breath comes in a pigsty, your family fights over your trash, or your house becomes a mausoleum no one can sell. I've got 5 ugly, bone-deep truths that'll make you rethink every dusty corner. Truths so raw they'll slap you awake and shove you toward the dumpster. This isn't decluttering. It's a deathbed confession in cardboard and tears, a last stand against the chaos you'll leave behind. Want to know what's coming? Brace yourself, we're going in hard. 1. All objects are a knife cutting through life and death. Here's the first gut punch truth. Every damn thing you own isn't just stuff, it's a bloody shard of your life. And when death's shadow creeps in, it's a mirror showing you're about to be worm food. You're old, hunched over, staring at that chipped mug on the counter, yeah. The one you sipped coffee from when your knees didn't crack and your hair wasn't gray. It's not a mug anymore. It's a tombstone screaming, "You're done, pal." Or maybe you're the kid, the widow, the leftover piece of a broken family, digging through dad's garage, his greasy toolbox, his faded ball cap, and every touch is a stab. A reminder he's rotting 6 feet under while you're stuck holding his corpse in metal and cloth. This isn't some sentimental bullshit about memories. It's a cruel slap that every item tells a story of what was, what's dying, or what's already dead, and you're the idiot who has to decide if it lives or gets torched. For the elderly, this is the countdown clock ticking louder than their creaky joints. That rusty lawnmower? It's the summers you mowed the yard, strong and sweaty, now a relic of a body that's crumbling. That stack of letters from your late wife? It's her voice, her love. Now just paper waiting for the shredder because you can't take it to the grave. You're not decluttering, you're gutting your own history, slicing off chunks of yourself before the reaper does it for you. And if you're the one left behind, good luck. Mom's knitting needles aren't tools, they're her hands, her patience, her late-night curses over dropped stitches. And now they're trash unless you say otherwise. Every piece you touch is a fresh wound, a scream that they're gone, and you're the executioner deciding what dies twice. It's not a choice. It's a fucking funeral in slow motion, and you're the pallbearer tripping over the casket. Here's the brutal kicker. You can't escape it. Keep it all. And you're a hoarder drowning in a mausoleum of your own, making every room a shrine to a life that's ash. Toss it, and you're a traitor, erasing them like they never breathed. Either way, your screwed guilt gnaws your bones, or clutter chokes your air. The truth hurts like a punch to the throat. These things aren't just objects. They're your life, their life, and death doesn't care if you're ready to let go. Solution: stop whining and start cutting. If you're old, pick one thing a day, that mug, that cap, and ask, does this tell my story, or just weigh me down? If it's dead weight, chuck it. No tears, no bullshit. You're not betraying yourself. You're freeing your soul for the end. If you're cleaning up after them, set a timer 15 minutes and grab a box. Keep one thing that screams who they were. Dad's cap, mom's needles. The rest? Donate, sell. Burn, doesn't matter, just get it gone. You're not killing them. You're burying the clutter so you can live. Harsh? Yeah. True. Damn right. Do it, or die trying to hold it all. But here's the next kick in the teeth. Even if you gut the clutter, the real fight's just starting. Because deciding what goes isn't just about space, it's about guilt. The kind that claws your guts and whispers you're a traitor every time you touch the trash can. Ready for that war? Let's rip it open. 2. Cleaning is like suffocating your own heart. Here's the second soul-crushing truth. Decluttering isn't just moving shit around, it's you, trembling, strangling your own heart with every piece you touch, drowning in a flood of guilt so thick it chokes the life out of you. You're old, your clock's winding down, and you pick up that scarf your daughter knit you 30 Christmases ago, ugly as sin. But her tiny hands made it, and now she's too busy to call. Toss it. And you're not just dumping yarn, you're torching her love, spitting on the kid she was, admitting she's a stranger who won't care when you're ash. Keep it, and it's a noose, a reminder you're a fading ghost clutching at threads while death laughs in your face. Either way, your bleeding guilt rips your guts out, whispering you're a failure who can't let go of a life that's already slipping through your bony fingers. Or maybe you're the one left behind, a hollow shell sifting through the wreckage. You grab mom's recipe book, stained with gravy, and her shaky handwriting. Thanksgiving won't come this year, because she's cold in the ground, and you're the asshole holding her last pie crust like it'll bring her back. Chuck it, and you're a monster, erasing her voice, her warmth, her just a pinch more salt, like she was nothing. Keep it, and you're a prisoner, shackled to a ghost who'll never cook again. Every page a stab that she's gone, and you're too weak to bury her right. It's not decluttering, it's a goddamn execution. And you're the one pulling the trigger, sobbing over every scrap, knowing each choice is a fresh grave you dig with your own hands. The weight's unbearable, guilt's a vulture, pecking at your soul, feasting on the agony of what you can't undo. This is the brutal, heart-shredding reality. Every item's a landmine, and you're damned no matter where you step. Toss it, and you're a traitor who's killed them twice their memory's dust, and you're the wind that blew it away. Hold on, and you're a coward, suffocating under a pile of junk that screams they're dead, and you're too broken to face it. It's a slow, torturous bleed out, every decision a wound, every object a chain, and death's the bastard grinning while you writhe. Solution: face the fire and cut the cord. If you're old, stare that scarf down and ask, is this love or a shackle? If it's a chain, rip it off, donate it, burn it, let it go. You're not betraying them. You're saving your last breaths from regret. If you're grieving, pick one thing: mom's book, not the whole damn kitchen, and box the rest. Give it away fast, charity, neighbors, anyone, before it festers. You're not erasing them. You're clawing back your air. It's ugly, it's raw, but it's survival. Do it, or let guilt eat you alive. But even if you dodge that bullet, here's the next dagger to the chest. What happens when you realize all this crap you're bleeding over every scarf, Every book means nothing to the ones you're leaving it for? Ready to feel that sting? Let's tear it apart. 3. The heritage you cherish is just trash in the eyes of others. You're old, your days are numbered, and you're cradling that tarnished silver spoon like it's the holy grail passed down from great-grandma, polished with your sweat, a relic of every Thanksgiving you slaved over. You're thinking, this is my legacy, my kids will fight over it when I'm gone. Or maybe you're the one sorting through the wreckage, clutching Dad's scratched-up vinyl records, Sinatra's croon still echoing in your head from those Sunday mornings he'd dance Mom around the kitchen. You save it. You bleed for it. You bet your last breath they'll treasure it too. Here's the sick joke. They won't. That spoon? It's a thrift store reject to your grandkids. Those records? They're coasters for some millennials' kombucha. The stuff you die for or die clutching is just another load of crap to the ones you leave behind. And that's a bitter pill you'll choke on. Let's paint the scene for the elderly. You've spent decades building a museum of your life, those porcelain figurines you dusted every Sunday, that creaky rocking horse you fixed for the grandbabies. You're not just tidying up for death, you're curating your immortality, dreaming they'll pass it down with hushed reverence. Newsflash, they're already Googling bulk trash pickup before your funeral's cold. Your sacred hoard is their headache, a dusty chore they'll shrug off faster than you can say heirlooms. And if you're the one left holding the bag, you're a fool too, killing yourself to preserve Mom's moth-eaten quilts, only to watch your kids yawn and say, "Nah, I've got IKEA." It's not a rejection of you. It's a middle finger to your whole damn story, and it stings like a slap from the grave. Why? Because time's a thief, and tastes are its accomplices. Your treasures are dinosaurs too big, too old, too useless in a world of tiny apartments and Spotify playlists. You see a lifeline. They see landfill. You see love. They see clutter. And the punchline? You can't force them to care. Your death doesn't come with a rule book saying, "Worship my junk or else." It's a quiet, cruel betrayal that leaves you or your memory naked, stripped of the meaning you poured into every knickknack. Solution: swallow the truth and play smart. If you're old, stop romanticizing. Pick one thing, like that spoon, and tell its story to someone who'll listen. Then let the rest rot where it falls. You're not immortalizing junk. You're passing a spark, not a burden. If you're cleaning up, don't hoard. Snap a photo of Dad's records. Keep one for the jukebox and ditch the rest to someone who'll spin it. You're not saving their soul. You're saving yours from a pointless fight. It's cold, it's quick, it's done. So you've dodged the guilt and the rejection. Good for you. But here's the next trap waiting to snap. All that stuff you let go or cling to could still turn your life into a cage, not a home. Want to see how? Let's crack it open. 4. Clutter is the ghost that imprisons the soul and the living. Imagine your house as a sinking ship. Every room groaning under the weight of 1,000 anchors, rusted keys, faded curtains. A clock that stopped when your heart still beats strong. You're old, teetering on the edge of the abyss. And these things aren't possessions, they're chains, dragging you down to a watery grave before your lungs give out. Each shelf creaks like a coffin lid. Each drawer whispers your name in a voice too heavy to shake off. Or maybe you're the one left, wandering through Grandma's shadow-haunted halls, her chipped teapot, her moth-chewed Bible, watching the walls bend inward, the air thicken with dust and something darker. This isn't clutter. It's a curse, a spectral net snaring your soul, or hers, trapping you both in a limbo where the living choke and the dead can't rest. For the elderly, it's a slow drowning. That old radio, silent now, Once sang you through wars and weddings, now it's a stone around your neck, pulling you under as your knees buckle and your breath fades. You're not just tidying for death. You're wrestling shadows that cling tighter with every year, whispering that if you let go, your spirit will unravel, lost to the void before your body hits the dirt. Some say the dead linger where their things pile high, grandpa's fishing lures, mom's cracked mirror watching, waiting, tethered to a world they can't leave because you won't release them. And if you're the survivor, you're a prisoner in a haunted gallery, every item a flickering ghost, every corner a moan. Keep it all, and your home's a crypt, the air sour with their unquiet presence. You trip over their past while your own life rots. The pain's a quiet scream. Too much stuff doesn't just clog your space, it poisons your peace. For the old, it's a thief stealing their last clear days, turning a home into a cage where death feels closer than it should. For the grieving, it's a shroud, every untouched trinket a thread stitching you to sorrow. Every pile a wall between you and the light. There's a whisper in the dark. Too much clutter holds their souls hostage, keeps you from living, turns your house into a purgatory neither can escape. Solution: break the spell. If you're old, stand in the gloom and pick one anchor, that radio, those lures, and cast it out. Give it to the wind, not the grave. You're not losing them. You're setting your spirit free for the end. If you're left behind, light a candle, call it a prayer if you want, then sweep through with a box. One keeper, the rest gone. Donate it, trash it, let it fly. You're not banishing them. You're lifting the curse so you both breathe again. It's eerie, it's final, it's yours to do. What haunts your house? Something you can't let go, or something they left behind? Drop it below. I want to hear your ghosts. You might free the shadows, but here's the last twist of the knife. This fight never ends, it's a beast you'll battle till your last breath. Curious how? Let's unveil it. 5. Cleaning is a never-ending battle you must win. Here's the final, earth-shaking truth. Decluttering isn't a finish line, it's a brutal, endless war you'll fight till your last breath, and surrender means you're already a corpse. You're old, picturing a tidy exit wrong. That closet's a beast. Ditch a coat and junk mail claws back in, mocking your fading grip. Or you're the one left, swearing you'll purge dad's ghost in a day, dream on. His hats, his tools, they multiply. A flood of crap that'll bury you if you flinch. This isn't a task. It's a gladiator pit. Life keeps tossing shit, and death doesn't wait for a clean slate. For the elderly, it's a race against the reaper. You shred a photo, and guilt sneaks in with a new trinket. Your piece slips as the pile grows. For survivors, it's a cruel loop. Clear mom's books, then Christmas dumps fresh baggage you can't ditch. Here's the kicker. This grind isn't defeat, it's your fire. Every swing at the clutter screams you're alive, kicking the void in the teeth. You don't win by ending it, you win by battling, proving you're tougher than the mess. Solution: grab the sword and swing. If you're old, ditch one thing daily, a sock, a lie, carve your freedom with every toss. If you're grieving, hit it weekly, 5 items, 1 bag, no mercy. You're not just cleaning, you're claiming your soul, step by ruthless step. Fight or fall. What's your first blow today? Drop it below. One thing you'll slay to own this war. Let's make it legendary. So here we stand, at the edge of the abyss, staring down the brutal, beautiful truth. Decluttering before death or after it isn't about empty shelves or a polished house. It's a roaring wildfire you ignite with trembling hands, a battle cry against the dark that says, I'm here, I'm human, I won't go quietly. You're old, stripping your life bare, tossing that mug, that scarf not to erase, but to rise, to hand your kids a spark, not a burden. Or you're the one left, sifting through mom's ghosts or books, her chair not to bury her, but to lift her memory into light, to carve a path through the wreckage for your own beating heart. This fight never ends. Clutter creeps, guilt claws, time betrays, but that's the glory. Every toss, every tear, every stand you take is a testament to your grit, your love, your undying flame. This isn't about winning. It's about living raw, messy, and magnificent. You don't declutter to die tidy, you do it to burn bright, to turn a house of shadows into a beacon of who you are, who they were, who you'll always be. So grab that box, face the chaos, and swing hard, not for perfection, but for the sheer, wild joy of being alive. You're not just clearing space. You're forging a legacy of courage that outshines the grave. Kogoi Handong. Feel that fire? Smash that like button if this moved you, share it. Fuel this channel. Let's keep the blaze alive together. What's one thing you'll toss today to light your way? Drop it below. Your story's part of this epic. Let's rise together.